So you found the skeleton. How would you tell people that this you personally? How would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
All right, welcome to Kent with Bent 26, the one that almost didn't happen ever. Although I think I have the wrong. Oh, there's a nice mask. I think I have the wrong background. There we go. That'll fix it. My goodness, sorry about that, guys. You gotta get the right background on these. So anyway, I'm here as always with Bent Hovind, no relation, but I'm also joined by David, who recently debated Kent Hovind on, I believe it was on Modern Day Debate, right?
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. And also, you had the after show for that debate on my channel.
That's right.
So yeah, so this is not only your first time appearing on Kent with Bent, this is your first one that you're experiencing in any way, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, complete newbie here, if you will. All right. Well, that means then that, as we always do, we have to go over the drinking rules. The drinking rules are as follows. 1. We drink whenever Kent Hovind gets a point of fact correct without it being a direct quotation from someone else. Oh! There's an early instance of Godzilla, who we also drink for, to keep it a little bit up in the air as to when we're going to drink. So there you go. We also drink whenever Kent Hovind says something that is so mind-bogglingly stupid or inept that we feel like it would be a threat to our mental health not to. We also drink whenever... Well, there's Mothra Sound too. But also, if Mothra J Disco super chats, we usually drink for that, because he's Mothra J Disco. What am I missing?
I think
like
that's it.
Oh, we had a rule on Eric with Erica to drink whenever Eric told a joke and neither Erica nor I laughed. So.
Oh yeah, we did that.
Yeah, we can add that in for Kent Hovind.
It was a pretty new one.
Yeah. We can do it if we want. It's up to you. And of course, the Dapper Dino channel does not actually encourage you to play along with this game because you might die. And so I accept no responsibility or liability for anything that happens as a result of you playing along with the Kent with Bent drinking game. You do this at your own risk. All right, so David, before we go, is there anything you want to let everyone know? Is there any place they can follow you if they want to? Any social media you want to plug or anything?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my personal YouTube channel, Kakarot. I just uploaded my response video like about 20 minutes ago, I think. So
okay. Nice.
Yeah, go ahead and check it out if you like.
All right. Send me a link to that on like you can send like email to me or something, and I'll make sure that gets added to the description. It might not happen during the stream, but it'll be up there afterwards. So if you're watching this in the future, check the description for David's channel. And if you're watching it right now... Oh, Godzilla!
That wasn't me.
If you are watching this in the future... Or sorry, if you're watching it now, come back in the future just to check on that link, because it'll be in the description. But before we actually get into Kent Hovind, I have one quick thing that I need to show you. And it is this wonderful compilation of Kent Hovind... Well... going full Hovind and threatening to dox people. Because, you know, there was some question as to whether or not that's something that happens. And by the way, this is made by Atheist Jr. Check him out if you want to. He has a fair few videos like this. And we're actually going to play it on slightly faster speed. I'm going to go to 1.25. Just so we can get to the actual meat of the episode. But yeah, these are the reasons why you should be hesitant to give Kent Hovind any personal information. Because he can and will put it out publicly.
For the believers.
That's probably why he makes so many anti-Hovind videos. He's trying to divert attention from his sin, his crime, actually.
That was a crime.
Yeah, and so he's always making anti-Hovind videos that have really no content in them. You know, it's hilarious, but call him out, brother. And if he keeps it up, we're going to call his name and give out his phone number. Go ahead.
And on the...
So he said, well, Aaron Ra is his legal name. He did study in Dallas, but he dropped out. which is fine. I can understand. People drop out all the time. So I have no evidence that he has any degrees of any kind, other than, and not even high school diploma. I couldn't find that. Okay, somebody looked for that. There's a website called Truth Finder. I asked a friend of mine who lives in Dallas, where he lives. I said, "What you find is Aaron Ra his real name?" Because Kyle told me, yeah, that's his real name. They could not locate anybody with the real name of Aaron Ra or Aaron Ra, one syllable. And he said, "Brother Hovind, when I typed in my name, it found all my last 9 addresses where I've lived." He said, "This thing, it finds stuff." I don't know. I've never been on Truth Finder. You ever heard of that, Steve? Truthfinder.com website. Anyway, so what evidence can you show us, Aaron, that your legal name is Aaron Ra, or about your education? I'd like to see that. Until I see evidence that it's Aaron Ra, I'm gonna have to call you Aaron Nelson. Petrified clams in the closed.
No,
position.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Go to the beach.
Second.
When clams die, they open. Something eats them.
Oh, you're good.
I'm not sharing it with the Discord call. Oh, drink for Godzilla though. Just because Discord can be a little bit iffy if you stop screen share and share a different one. So this is just a quick thing for everyone in the audience. Sorry about that, panel.
I mean, it's hard to find a matched pair of sea
You're good,
clams, but yet there are petrified clams 10 feet thick
So should
in
I tune
northern
into the
Alabama,
YouTube,
where you live,
or
ask around.
just stay on Discord?
Just stay on for a few, and we'll let me play this, and I'll let you know when we're back.
Cool.
Where are the giant beds of petrified closed clams 10 feet thick in northern Alabama? The first synthetic cells made in 2010. Inventors team at the C. Craig Venter Institute in California, out by you, copied an existing bacterial genome and transplanted it into another cell. Hello, folks. My name is Kent Hovind. It is May 29th, 2017. And I last week did a long phone discussion with Jackson Wheat, a student at Louisiana State University, and we put it up on YouTube and have had many comments. There, okay. I've not read that paper. I'd be glad to read that. But I'd like to ask Al a question. He says he knows that this mitochondrial Eve had ancestors. How can you possibly know that? One cell is more complex than your whole country of England. With all the infrastructure you've been developing for thousands of years over there, one single cell is more complicated than that.
So yes, that is, by the way, Atheist Junior's YouTube video. That is a compilation of Kent Hovind variously giving out personal details, or attempting to, or seeking them out so that he can expose them. So yeah, some of them were more serious than others. Like in some cases, you know, like it's not exactly a secret that Baldy Cats / Conspiracy Cats lives in England. Just like it's not a secret that I live in Arizona. So, however, still, normal internet etiquette dictates that you be a bit cautious when giving out any identifying information about someone who hasn't made that explicitly public. So, oh, drink from Mothra. All right. With that said, yeah, that is sort of some backup on the don't give Kent Hovind your personal details if he wants them. Anyway, here we go. Let's get some Kent Hovind nonsense from Seminar 7. In case you don't remember, when we last left off, Kent Hovind was saying that no one has ever seen a star born, or if they say they have, they're lying to you. So here we go.
Because nobody knows how it happens. There's not even a good theory how you could squeeze dust into a star, and there's certainly no evidence.
Wrong.
Bent, why don't you tell us what theory there is as to how you could squeeze something into a star? What attractive forces out there?
I don't remember how it's pronounced. It starts with a G.
Okay.
And ends with a gravity, but I can't remember how the word's pronounced. Gravity, maybe?
Are you sure it's not a gravy tree?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not.
Full of gravy? Because that sounds good too. David, what do you...
Gravity isn't real, right? And the moon is a light. Oh, wait, that's flat.
Oh, is Kent going full flurf on this one?
He's trying.
He's going half flurf?
Like, he's arguing for it, but not realizing that's his conclusion.
Okay. What do you think, David? Do you think gravity might be the force that explains how you squeeze things into a star?
Just might be.
Just might be, yeah. Yeah, that whole hydrostatic equilibrium thing. Oh, drink for Godzilla. My goodness. Goodness, we're getting a lot of the random stuff today. So, yeah, gravity Kent. Oh my goodness, again? Is it Bob Knob?
It's not me.
Actually, I'm going to find out if it's Bob Knob. I can tell.
I hope so. I don't see him in chat too much anymore.
Yep, it is not Bob Knob.
Son of a gun.
But the thing is, sometimes he comes by just to continuously activate Godzilla.
Right.
which we then drink for. We don't say it doesn't count because it was Bob Knob.
Right, he's doing good for all of mankind.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Let's get a little bit more Kent in here.
But here's what happened. They see bright spots appear in the clouds, and not in the clouds, in the dust clouds in space. They look at this Crab Nebula or Eagle Nebula, and they're staring at it, and all of a sudden one day a spot gets a little brighter. Oh wow, a star's being born. That's immediately their conclusion that a star is being born. I said, wait. Maybe the dust in front of it is clearing and the star was already there.
Well, what do you guys think? Do you think that it's just that there was intervening dust clearing
Oh
up?
my god! Kent, in 2 sentences, has figured out what no astronomers ever thought of, ever. After years and years and years of training. I'm sure none of them ever thought of that.
Yeah, he hit the jackpot. He got it right there.
Maybe they actually did think of it and like figure out how to test for things like that.
Oh, and Lexi by Day asks, how do you activate Godzilla? That is something I usually don't tell people because then it gets abused.
Pay me money and then I do it for you.
Ah, there you go. I'll tell you what. If you
I accept pennies in the mail, that's it.
Unless you docs Hovind first.
Figure out my address.
Right.
In the mail. If it's in an envelope, no, it has to be just pennies.
Straight up mailed pennies. Awesome. So does anyone know the ways, like, I don't want to take over quick, but does anyone want to say anything about why scientists can tell whether or not intervening dust is the problem?
I think they check different wavelengths of light, like ultraviolet or the other one, microwaves.
Yeah, so basically, interstellar dust has particular absorption spectra. And so a star's natural emission is going to be almost exactly a black body emission that is basically the same as the surface temperature ideal black body radiation from the surface. There's going to be some emission lines that are actually peaks in it based on its chemical composition. But for the most part, it's going to be essentially a black body spectrum. Now, if there's an intervening dust cloud, dust is opaque to certain wavelengths depending on what it's made of. So if you see these absorption lines for known absorption spectra, then you know that there was something between the star and you that blocked the light. And not only do you know it, but you know at least what nuclei were there, or in which atoms were there, because the absorption spectra vary based on the actual atoms involved. And so you can do things to infer what kinds of chemicals are out in space. That's why we know there's a giant cloud of methanol not too far from Earth, galactically speaking. Don't go drink it, because that's grain alcohol. You'll go blind. That's not going to be the new source of space vodka. I promise. You will die. Maybe we'll find a cloud of ethanol. That'd be cool too. But anyway, so yeah, the way you can check is you just check the spectra of the stars in question, and you can tell that there's not intervening dust that's clearing away because they would have strong absorption lines. Instead, they don't. So yeah, it's almost like scientists know what they're talking about, and they don't just pull this crap out of their... Well, that's true. Can they do that? Well, you're not a scientist. Well, you're a doctor, and you can do it. Wait, you're a doctor, right?
About as much as Kent is, maybe a little more.
I mean, you have a degree, so you're more of a doctor than Kent is, because he doesn't have any degrees.
Well, he has a doctor's degree, but that's not
fair. That's a good point. All right, here we go. We got a little bit more Kent Hovind in here.
Maybe it's a star blowing up. Maybe it's another supernova. Because that's what happens when stars supernova. They get really bright. They don't know that a star is forming. So don't let them tell you that we've seen stars form.
So, does anyone want to take a gander as to how we know the difference between a star forming and a supernova? I'll give you a hint. It's going to be pretty similar.
Just say it.
Yeah, you check the spectrum of the star in question. Supernovae have particular spectra. They're mostly first emission spectra from the various elements that you find as the star actually starts fusing things like carbon and turning things into iron, and then as the supernova actually fuses even heavier elements, you'll get emission spectra for these particular atoms because, so the way an emission spectrum works is each atom has certain electron orbitals, right? And higher electron orbitals are higher energy. And the way that an atom actually is essentially absorbs energy in the terms of things like thermal energy or when it absorbs a photon or things is the electrons will jump to higher states. But when they drop back down in discrete amounts of energy. And these differ based on which atom it is, because each atom has its own unique collection of electron orbitals that are available to electrons bound to that nucleus. As a result, distinct patterns of wavelengths are associated with the excitation of different elements. So if you see spectral lines that are emission spectra associated with the elements that we know happen from supernovae, then you know it's a supernova. If, however, you don't see those characteristic emission lines, it's not a supernova. And this is not even this is stuff that we went over in my astronomy for non-science majors class. That's the level of education you need on this. You need one undergrad class in astronomy that you did fairly well in that was designed for non-science majors. That's it. That's all you need. This is the most basic of astronomy. This is like, the only way you could get more basic is like if we went over what the celestial sphere is. But yeah, so let's go. More Kent.
Nobody has seen such a thing. All we do is we see them blow up, which is the opposite of what evolutionists need. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 1, let them be for signs and seasons and for days and years, and he made the stars also. Here God is claiming he made the stars, and it says in Psalm, he counts the number of the stars. Not only how many there are total, but each one has its own number. So God will say, oh, this is star number 42 trillion, 718 billion. He knows the number of each one. And says, praise him, ye waters that be above the heavens, in Psalm 148. This is the only verse that says anything like this. Waters that be above the heavens. Now in Genesis 1, it talks about verse 6 and 7, water that be above the heavens. I believe when God first made the world, it was...
That's not the real crowd. There's no way that's the real crowd. We've seen real Kent Hovind crowds. They don't look like that. Everyone is way more bored in real Kent Hovind crowds.
Yeah, everyone in this crowd looks wide awake.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy who looks like he wants to kill Kent Hovind.
Didn't earlier in this very same video, we actually see another shot of the crowd, and it was like 3 people who looked like they were falling asleep?
They're like...
Yeah, this is not the same. This is they cut to this footage. This is stock footage they got from something else. I don't believe for a second that this is the real crowd.
It's very, very different than what we see. Mostly land, instead of the huge oceans that we now have. Most of that water was in the crust of the earth. We covered that in video 2. But there was earth and there was heaven, singular. King James is the only Bible I'm aware of that gets it right in Genesis 1:1, where it says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth.
Oh, Bent, do you remember when we checked on this? When we actually broke open the Hebrew and read it on air?
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember? Oh, well, David.
No, it blacked out.
Oh, well, from the no alcohol you were drinking?
It was just a normal blackout, like a Kent Hovind crazy blackout.
All right. Well, we did check on the original Hebrew, but you know what we can do? Let's check the Septuagint. Let's see
Wait,
what.
I thought that wasn't real.
Let's see what the Septuagint says, because maybe the King James is just translating from the Septuagint. Genesis 1:1 LXX. Just gonna Google that. Okay, enarche epoisen otheos ton uranon. Oh, all right. It's singular in Greek, guys. So we get ton uranon kai tin ris. Tin rin. I'm automatically just switching to nominative case because I'm not paying attention to what I'm actually reading. Yay, Greek! Sorry, had to pull it out. So okay, we'll give him that. At least in Greek, we get heaven and not heavens.
All the rest of them say heavens. Okay, that's a mistake. There was heaven, which means expanded place. There was earth, and then from here on out. Then he divides it up into 3 slices: first heaven, second heaven, third heaven. The first heaven is where the birds fly. Genesis 1 talks about that. verse 20 and 21. Then there was water above the firmament. Now some...
Oh, wait, what's verse Genesis 1 was 20 and 21? Let's read those. What translation are we going to use? David, I'll let you pick.
NIV?
All right, we can do NIV. That works for me. Let's see. What we
I gotta
got?
say, I do like Kent's globe. I think it's copper.
You would like Kent's Globe. Which, by the way, go check out coppermagma.com for free music.
Yeah, free. It's free. You don't even have to pay for it.
All right, so Genesis 1, 20 through 21. I'm sorry I can't do my reverb God voice right now because I don't have all that technology set up for live streaming. So normally when I read the Bible on my channel, I get this deep, booming voice that sounds like I'm standing in the middle of a giant temple with the sound reverberating across the walls, but I'll do my best. And God said, "Let the waters teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea, and every living thing with which the waters teem, and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So that's interesting. It says the vault of the sky, but let's check on Kent Hovind's favorite, the King James. Let's see. It says the open firmament of heaven. So, yeah, we're still talking about that nice solid dome that the Bible says exists. That doesn't, at least if you're going to take the Bible as literally as Ken wants to take it. So, yeah. If we're going to take Kent Hovind and his hermeneutics seriously, sorry, the flat earth with a dome is actually what we're going to have to go with. Or maybe, Kent, maybe. If you want to take the Bible seriously, you shouldn't take it all that literally, at least in this part.
Yeah.
And hey, Cheshire Vic is in. Cheshire Vic is in the chat. Chesh, send me a message if you want in. Yeah, if you want in, I will add you to the call, even if you just want to stop in and say hi. So there you go. All right, here we go.
Creationists do not believe in the canopy theory. I understand. I've read their stuff. I think they're wrong. I still believe, and some accuse me, well, you don't agree with us, therefore, you're not a good creation scientist. To keep up on your research. I keep very much up on the research, and I disagree. It's not that I haven't read it, it's that I have read it and disagree.
That's so stupid I have to drink to
But I
that.
believe the wind.
Oh,
Water
Kent
above,
Hovind just
one for to
pretended
breathe.
Yeah. All right, we can drink for that.
That's absurd. He does not.
Also, Monk Mayfair asked that I checked ESV, and in the ESV it says, "And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good." And then they put in a footnote at birds that says, "or flying things," see Leviticus 11:19 through 20. I don't really care to check on that, so I'm just going to let that stay. So, yeah. All right, here we go. And yeah, we'll see what else Kent has for us. It's going to be stupid.
Layer of water above to protect them, and then a layer of stars, and then more water. The only verse I have to back it up is right here, Psalm 148. "Praise him, ye waters that be above the heavens." That's present tense.
Oh, I'm going to drink for that one. And then I'm going to explain why. All right. So here's the thing, right? The Bible describes the creation event where God creates the firmament as a solid dome to keep the water above the sky away from the water below the sky in the oceans, and well as keeping it off of the land. This firmament has literal gates in it that God opens up to let the water in from the heavens above into the earth for the flood. Right? And it also has fountains in the ocean that God can open up because the cosmic ocean surrounds the earth. The reason that the King James Bible is using the present tense, or even just the Hebrew is using the present tense in the Psalms to say, "Praise ye these waters that be above the heavens," is because there was no idea that the heavens had changed during the flood. The waters were still there because the cosmic ocean was assumed to be very expansive. It's also why the sky was blue. The entire Bible presents a cosmology that simply cannot be taken seriously as a literal cosmology. Kent Hovind, being not a flat earther and being intellectually inconsistent because of it, doesn't want to go that far. So instead, he has to twist the actual words of the Bible into weird, contorted versions of itself that no one reading it around the time of its authorship would have ever even imagined. And yeah, so Kent Hovind can't even stop lying when he's talking about the Bible itself and its text. So, yeah, Kent Hovind, you can't even get the Bible right, which is not the first time he hasn't gotten the Bible right. He's almost as bad at the Bible as he is at everything else. I guess he's pretty good at abusing his family, or at least he was when he still had one.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Hurts, Kent.
Yeah. Well, as of late, I've stopped maintaining the pretense of civility when it comes to Kent Hovind. Kent Hovind isn't worth me being civil towards. So here we go.
Is there still water above the heavens? Psalm 104 says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Could it be that there is another layer of water beyond all of outer space? Maybe everything that we see as this universe, which looks like huge, maybe everything we see is inside water, a crystal, and God is outside of that, the third heaven, 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Could there be a third layer where God lives? Of course, God doesn't need a place to live. He just is, you know?
That is capital D dumb.
Well, I'll tell you, why don't you tell us why while I drink to just how dumb that was?
It's something to do with, how does it? Starts with a G, ends with a ravity. I can't remember how it's spelled or how it's pronounced. I don't know. Gravity? Is it gravity?
It could be gravity. So what do you think would happen if there were a giant sphere of water surrounding the universe?
I think maybe that sphere of water might just collapse in on itself because of gravity.
Weird.
But hey, it's been out there. It's so far away. Only 6,000 years have passed.
Godzilla. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I gotta... Okay, hold on. I gotta add a person.
Gravy Tea, that's it. Hawk Skull got it.
Gravy Tea, huh? Alright. Guess what's happening right now?
What's happening?
Oh, you're gonna have to guess until it happens, in which case...
Boom!
Oh, hello.
Well, she's not quite in yet.
Yo.
Hey!
What up?
Yo, what up? It's me, your boy. What's going on?
Oh, you know, we're drinking, we're having fun with some Kent with Bent.
I had to come in. I'm taking a day off today, but I had to come in because that was the biggest oof I have ever heard in some time. Oh my god. Oh, he gets the Bible wrong just about as he gets everything else wrong. You know, except maybe like hitting his family. Oh my god.
It's funny because it's true.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that I could be so satisfying in terms of the burn on Kent Hovind.
Oh, I could not just come in and applaud that. That was just that's the big. And to be fair, after like doxing people and like not caring about dead children at his park and etc., I feel like he kind of earned a little bit of a burn.
Yup. Yeah, he is.
So like, I can't even be like no.
And I just realized I had you turned up to 200% from when we were on that call last night. And like you were super loud, and I was like, why is she so loud all of a sudden? And I'm like, oh right, she's probably actually at her computer and not in bed on her phone. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Fact.
Yep. All right. So yeah, yeah, I'm done pulling punches with Kent Hovind. He does not deserve it in the least.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I was being a little more respectful back before both the basically asking me to dox myself and Erica to dox herself, and then the whole debacle with the kid dying at his park, and I was just like, nope. I'm done.
And like how
this
bad
guy.
he was with Rachel Oates too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was still all the way up until the kid. That was the final straw. But that one, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have a video on my channel about his interactions, shall we say, with Rachel Oates and how not okay that was. Although I still had Kent Hovind supporters all over the comments trying to defend him. And I was like, I don't see how...
We had an episode about that too, because you brought it to mine and Steve's attention, and we were like, you were 100% right, and we addressed it on, like, I think it was a Caffeine Corner episode.
Mm-hmm. It was. I really liked that episode because I wasn't really... I was pretty darn angry at the time, and I was like, I can't actually do this full justice. And I was really happy that you guys really dove into it and went through... what was going on with Rachel, the ways in which Kent Hovind was reacting to this, and the horrible things surrounding the whole situation, where Rachel was being seriously harassed by a lot of people who were pretty bad. So yeah, I really appreciate that you and Steve took care of that for me, because
yeah, that was pretty rough. And like that was originally what Caffeine Corner was about. Originally Caffeine Corner was just kind of about the dumb things that go on in the community, like either between creators or between people like Kent and Rachel Oates or etc. I think I'm pretty sure we talked about EOT a couple of times because like that wasn't okay, and until we got into like we needed to start explaining to people and showing people how to actually recognize this stuff on their own, so that way maybe this can happen a little bit less. Exactly. I think that's been more effective in my opinion.
I think that they were both effective. I like a lot of the like your recent thing about what was it? No, I can't remember. It was like how to recognize, and now I'm having a brain fart.
Are you talking about Guild by Association? I think that was
it. I cannot remember why I couldn't remember that phrase, but yeah, how to recognize Guild by Association. That was a good one.
Yeah, we basically just got tired of people saying that it was Guild by Association because I made my block list public. It's like that's not. Recently, somebody said that I was body shaming somebody because I said I didn't think they were attractive. And I'm like, that's not body shaming. That's my opinion. What are you talking about?
Smitty has a message for Puck. He says, "Watch your snoot, Puck. It might get booped."
Oh, he's all scared and freaked out right now because it's just past Victoria Day weekend, which is of fireworks, and he really doesn't like fireworks, so he's all spooked.
I'm sorry, Puck.
There's still a couple going off. Poor guy.
Also, Brainbug points out, let's not forget what his fan did to Bill Ludlow. And yeah, I don't know, David, do you know about Bill Ludlow and what Kent Hovind fan did after his debate with Kent?
No idea. What
So Bill Ludlow, the late Bill Ludlow, I should say, was a science educator and sort of, I guess, amateur paleontologist, although he was the head of the Southwest Paleontological Society. So, I mean, he was very active in paleontology field work, even though it wasn't his profession. What was his profession was running a music promotion thing where he would book music acts in the Phoenix, Arizona area. And he had a debate on human evolution with Kent Hovind, because one of the things he did was he ran the Human Origins display at a museum in Phoenix. Or actually, I think it's just outside Phoenix. I think it's like in Tempe or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's basically Phoenix. So he got on and he absolutely annihilated Kent Hovind. It was embarrassing. When I did my... He
did one of the better takedowns of Kent.
Oh, yeah.
In recent history.
Oof. I mean, I still watch it sometimes today, and I'm just like, damn, that was brutal. So, a fan of Kent Hovind decided to file a federal trademark for the name and logo of his music promotion company, and then sue
I thought
him.
That's what you were talking about, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember that's where that guy came from, because he talked about it as Steve had brought him on to Non Sequitur a bunch of times just to talk about that, and that situation just to get awareness out so he could get help with that. I remember that.
Yeah. It does turn out, as far as I know, that it was more or less cleared up shortly before Bill's death, although unfortunately he died of cancer not too long after that. But yeah, when it comes to Kent Hovind and his fan base, they're pretty terrible. In fact,
they can be pretty brutal. Yeah.
I've been keeping Chesh abreast of some interactions I've been having with a Kent Hovind fan just today, and yeah. pretty
I mean,
scummy.
that's one of the risks of. It's kind of one of the risks of doing stuff like this, right? Like that's kind of the stuff we deal with Katie. That's the stuff we deal with like all kinds of people.
Wait, you weren't supposed to say his name yet?
What? Oh no, I was talking about the other one.
Oh, the other Katie?
Yeah, like
okay.
the Katie that is like going after Steve right now. That apparently like sending the FBI after him or something like that.
Right.
There was another account that did some kind of takedown video of us or of Steve or whatever. I didn't watch it. I don't know. I saw the clips of it where he's telling people to call the FBI on us, and it's like, what are you talking about? We make YouTube videos.
You know what, Chesh? I want someone to call the FBI on you just so they can have the FBI tell them, I'm sorry, but Ontario isn't part of our, like, Canada? No.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, we can't investigate someone in Canada.
Gotta send in the Navy SEALs.
SEAL Team 6 is going after Chesh because she was naughty on the YouTube.
I was talking about the definition of atheism. Better send the FBI.
extra jurisdictional arrest for talking about the definition of atheism. Boom. Oh, and by the way, yes, there's another Katie who is going to be coming up on some videos soon. Not this week. I'm going to give it till next week, unless.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be funny.
Yeah, unless I don't get anything lined up for Saturday, then it might just be Saturday. But yeah. So this is someone who showed up in my comments and was pretty awful, although funny. But yeah, basically. when it went to homophobia, then I was like, nah, this guy needs a few videos about him. So I've already downloaded a couple of his videos, and we're gonna have at least 2 episodes of taking apart his videos, and then depending on how long the second one is, it'll either be I'll read the comment thread on that video, or the video after it'll be me going through the comment thread and showing exactly where he screwed up. So
it's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
A thorough debunking.
Oh, yeah. Also, this guy apparently thinks that the Septuagint is imaginary, which the Septuagint is the ancient Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures. He apparently thinks it doesn't exist, somehow.
Oh.
I don't even know what that means, really. I've actually asked him for clarifications, because he mentioned it in a response to a comment I left on one of his videos. So, I was polite in that comment thread, though. Although I did link block texts of ancient Greek, because I'm fairly confident he can't speak ancient Greek. So, I was a little mean, but it was very, very subtle. But I think we have to get back to Kent Hovind, because there hasn't been enough drinking, Chesh. You're stop on the drinking.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Oh, no, it's fine. We love having you on. We always do.
I needed to come in and just say, laugh at that burn. That was... Now you're going to get copyrighted.
Uh-oh. Godzilla. Yeah, that could very well be a oof. Well, hey, if you're a Kent Hovind fan out there, file a federal trademark for the Dapper Dinosaur, and we'll see how long that lasts when I just simply point out the day of the channel's creation. Because that's exactly what Bill Ludlow did. He just showed paperwork from before that day that person filed the copyright claim, and he was like, hey, I've been using this name and logo for years. So.
I mean, yeah, we just run into the same problem that FE Corps did. Mm-hmm. Ask how that went for them.
Well, I mean, they're flat earthers, so they're inept at everything.
We'll have to call in we'll have to wave in the signal for the Christians under New Testament.
Oh, yes. Yeah, get Christians under New Testament on that. Just don't give an acronym to their name.
No. That's why I said the full name. If I wasn't on your channel, I would have just said the acronym, but I'm on your channel, and I play nice here.
And I appreciate that. I really do. All right, well, we're going to get some more Kent Hovind on. You're welcome to stay for it, but we're going to hit play.
All right, I'll hang up for a little bit.
All right,
See
I'll
what's
talk
up.
to you later.
I said I was gonna stay.
Oh, I thought you said I'm going to hang up for a while. Well, oh, sorry.
What is this?
I've had too much rum already. All right, here we go.
Trying to get rid of me.
I'm not trying to get rid of you. I'm just trying to get more Kent Hovind.
I'm
Psalm
fighting.
29 says, "The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The Lord is upon many waters." Maybe everything that we see when we step out at night and say, "Wow, look at all these stars." Maybe the whole thing's a little snow globe on God's dresser.
Yeah, maybe that's
that he
what
puts
it
up
is.
and
Ken.
shakes once in a while. How you doing in there? You know, I don't know. I like to think that way. But the Psalm 148, the waters that be above the heavens. You know,
Yeah, I like to think that way. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You like
That sounds like a terrible idea. Like, how bad is it that, oh, God cares about us so much, but we're just a snow globe on his desk? He likes to poke his head in every so often.
Drink for Godzilla. Well, maybe, I guess if you're a being with infinite power and intelligence, you can have an infinite number of snow globes and still care infinitely about all of them in your infinitely long shelf in your infinitely sized room.
It's a lot of infinites.
Well, once you get to one infinite, does it really matter how many more there are?
God can handle it.
That sounds like philosophy to me.
Uh-oh. No philosophy here. Unless it's philosophy of science, and even then. All right, here we go.
people have often asked, "Hey, where's the last star?" And once we find it, what's on the other side?
Where's the last star? What does that even mean?
Who asks that? People have
Oh, I need to take all these pills until I die.
Wait, so you're saying...
Demonetized.
Yeah, probably. Although demonetized is one of those words that can get you demonetized.
Oh, great. Now it's moneyfied.
Choosing Kent over Chesh. No, I'm choosing Kent with Chesh over no Kent on Kent with Bent. Because there has to be...
That's okay. You recall when Steve made that error, he ended up giving me a groveling apology.
Ooh.
Where's the last
Where's
star?
the last star from Smitty? He's just like, where's the last star? Like, I'm not even sure
Where
what...
is it?
It's over there. What are you supposed to say to that?
The second star to the right shines in the night for you.
You know, I'm going to drink for how stupid the last star is.
Copyright strike.
I finished my drink for that.
I think that...
We need to pour... No, it's the last star. We need to pour out a drink for the last star. Rip last star.
Oh, well, I'll pour a drink out later when I'm able to get outside.
Not on your computer.
Right, exactly. My computer probably doesn't mix well with rum and Coke. Not really sure. I haven't tried, but...
You tried pouring water on your computer to get out of a debate?
Oh my goodness. Do you remember that? Or did you hear about that, Chesh?
Oh.
Kent Hovind was scheduled to do a debate with Eric Vierthaler. And
92.
like minutes before the debate was supposed to start, or at least they were supposed to start like the pre-call to get everything, make sure everything was set up technically. Someone allegedly poured water on Kent Hovind's computer, and the debate was rescheduled and then canceled.
You know what that sounds like? You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like some flat earther nonsense.
Yeah.
And the debate topic was, are birds dinosaurs?
My favorite debate topic for a Kent Hovind debate. I don't think he's ever
already
going to
failed
debate
on
that
that
again.
one, and he pretended to want to try it again.
Yeah.
And then...
But my friend from the comments, Katie, who came in to defend Kent Hovind against my charge of cowardice, he was like, "Oh, you're that Timothy? Oh, you got destroyed." And I was like, I don't know that I got destroyed in a debate where Kent Hovind admitted he didn't know what a dinosaur is. Ouch.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine trying to defend Kent Hovind.
I've defended him
how
once.
do you
Oh no.
I defended him once from a charge of racism because I've heard enough of things of his where he has been strongly against various racist sentiments that he's encountered among Christians in the southern United States. So
That's fair.
Yeah,
I more mean like I can't imagine like defending his like positions in science and his behavior in like
they're all completely indefensible. Like no. His behavior.
You don't need. Here's the thing, guys. Don't make things up about people. Kent is bad enough. You don't need to accuse him of things he isn't doing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm 100% on board there because, yeah, I mean He's admitted to beating his children. He's completely
He's bragged
unconcerned.
about it.
Yeah.
Admitted is like a nice way of putting it. He bragged about it.
That's true. Yeah, he bragged about beating his kids. Or I guess technically one kid, but I mean, come on. Chances are that he wasn't beating the other two. Yeah, two. Pretty low. If he was beating one of them, you can be pretty damn
I don't know.
sure.
If they were behaving at the dentist, maybe he wasn't beating them.
Fair enough. All right, let's get
This is just a stream of oofs.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a pretty
The
easy guy to
water
burn.
of oofs are flowing.
The waters. It's the waters.
We've gone through just about 4 minutes in this video today in 45 minutes.
Hey, that's all right. I'm not in a rush to get through the seminar.
Any court of law would say that's not fast enough.
Well, in a fair court of law, you got to say fair,
It's a good thing we're on YouTube.
which has extremely unfair courts of law.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, here we go.
know the answers to those, but just a possibility is that there, according to the Bible, may still be water above the heavens. But there's a lot of stars out there. Hubble estimate was 11 trillion stars per person. That is 76 trillion divided by 6 billion people. Every one of you gets 11 trillion stars. What happened? They told the Hubble telescope
That
to
sounds like
focus in on a
communism.
It does sound a little bit like communism.
Yeah.
What did you do to homestead those 11 trillion stars, bucko? But yeah, it's a weird point because he actually has this talking point like kind of a lot, and I'm just like, it's just a broadly accurate estimate of the number of stars in the observable universe, and it's a high number. What does dividing that number by the then existing population of Earth have to do with anything?
I would
Nothing.
really doubt that Kent recognizes the difference between the number of stars we can see and the number of potential stars that
They found a
exist.
dot above the Big Dipper.
Oh my goodness, I hit play somehow. Yeah, no, I doubt that he has any concept that things might be beyond the observable universe too. Because he doesn't have any clear conception of how light travels.
Kent thinks that the redshift of galaxies is actually the redshift of stars, not of galaxies.
Yeah, he can't. He
I
can't
really
reliably
want him to
differentiate.
debate a flat earther.
He thinks
He won't.
the solar system formation is the same thing as the Big Bang,
Yeah,
like
he's-
in the model.
he's
He has
mixed.
no idea what he's talking about with
Yeah.
astronomy.
It might be worse than his biology. Actually, I think it.
It's
well,
worse.
I don't know though, because remember when he thought that what was it? That nucleotides were genes.
It's as bad as his biology.
Okay, yeah, because he thought that your entire genome was on each chromosome, and that each nucleotide was a gene, and that the way that fertilization works is once the sperm and egg join, each
Wait,
chromosome.
he didn't know the birds and the bees?
No,
Taught biology for how long?
he says 15 years. So he thought Kent Hovind at least thought. I don't know if he still thinks, but at least not that long ago, he thought that after the sperm enters the egg and the nuclei merge, each chromosome unspools into a long strand of DNA, which then splits down the base pairs, right? So you get 2 half strands of DNA. And then each half strand joins up with a half strand from the other chromosome, from the other parent. So you get these hybrid chromosomes that are each composed of 1/2 of the father's chromosome and 1/2 of the mother's chromosome. And then they spool back up into a chromosome shape. And that each nucleotide has a gene, and that all of those chromosomes carry your entire genome. It's...
I also think evolution is based on the number of chromosomes that an organism has,
Yep,
and
he
the more
goes on with
advanced
that,
you
too.
are, that means the more evolved you are, which means you have more chromosomes.
More chromosomes, yep. The more chromosomes, the better. Apparently. Or at least he thinks that's what evolution says, I guess.
Yeah.
It's...
It's
Uh,
multiple
I've never heard
times.
anybody say that before.
well, I'll tell you
Only
what.
him.
There's a great video on
And
my
says
channel.
that he corrected on it, and then he just keeps saying it the next time, and like,
Yeah, there's a good video on my channel. Check it out after at some point. It's called Kent Hovind Gets Genetics Badly Wrong, and that is the most understated title on my channel.
yeah.
Because it is frankly amazing that anyone could get genetics that wrong. I mean, this is like high school basics of genetics.
It's the birds and the bees. He gets the birds and the bees wrong.
Yes, exactly. Oh, and he also thinks that each nucleotide, which, they come in 4 varieties, he thinks that each variety has variation within it. Like, each, thymine is different from each other thymine, even though it's just a collection of molecules in the same arrangement every time, because that's what a chemical is. It would be a different chemical if it weren't the same as the next one.
Yeah.
Should we start a GoFundMe to send, Kent Hovind back to high school?
We should start a GoFundMe to get him to take the physics
SATs?
A level that Simon Dan wants him to take, so that he'll debate him.
GoFundMe to send Bent and Dapper
To Alabama.
to Dinosaur Adventureland.
Oh God, I don't want to die.
Do an in-person event.
I
know how to swim.
An in-person Kent with Bent from Dinosaur
In
Adventureland
person,
with Kent
live
Hovind.
with Kent Hovind.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be a great GoFundMe to rob people. I mean, to use to go there.
He would never do it. Kent would never do it.
He might if it's a surprise. We just jump out at him like, Kent with Bent time. Stick a microphone in his face. You
So I hear you don't know what that is.
I would watch the hell out of it. Good luck.
Yeah, well. Ugh. All right, let's get a little bit more Kent Hovind in here. He's got, is that Hubble? I think that's Hubble. Oh, yeah, it says Hubble Space Telescope. So, yeah, probably. Actually, you know what? We got to drink for Kent getting something right because he more or less accurate. What?
Drink then.
All
I gotta go get another drink.
Fine. All right, actually, I suppose I do too. So what that means is we're going to drink real quick for that, and then we're going to go to intermission.
I mean, do you guys want me to tell the story of Murphy, since Chad is asking?
Oh, yes. Tell the story of Murphy. That's better than an intermission. And just keep going until I get back.
So, once upon a time, there was a goblin named Murphy, and he is the best goblin bard. Now, that may be because he is the only goblin bard, but he is the best goblin bard. He is proficient at percussion, so he plays the drums. The drum that he chooses to play in particular is a pot that he wears on his head that he bangs with a wooden spoon. Now, he has written limericks, poems, couplets all the way through, and I'm currently working on a book of limericks. The ballads, yes, the ballads of Murphy, and it is essentially goblin poetry. And if you try to read it, you take psychic damage because it hurts your brain. Because that's how horrible and awful it is, but it is the best, and Murphy is the best. I'm considering, I haven't decided yet, but I would like to use him as an NPC, and I'm deciding on whether or not he actually teaches at bard colleges as a roaming bardic teacher to teach people how to be the best goblin bard, although no one will ever surpass him as the best goblin bard, as he is the only goblin bard. The way he's set up is essentially he is a walking, talking bandit. He can so most of his spells involved illusion magic and intimidation tactics, which essentially means that his whole goal is to make it seem like there's a lot of goblins to rob people, and that's basically how he got his start. And he's renowned amongst goblins as a singular goblin who is able to regularly take down caravans by himself. Because he uses magic. That's pretty much Murphy. I rolled his stats and he actually did pretty well. So he had starting out he had 16 charisma. So he's very cute and charismatic goblin. I like to think that he's kind of ugly cute, if you know what I mean. He's you kind of see him and you're like,
That's exactly the kind of cute that Erica likes most.
Yeah, there you go then.
Yeah, Erica has never seen an ugly animal that she didn't find adorable, as far as I can tell.
I hope you all enjoyed my intermission and the history and explanation of Murphy, the greatest goblin bard that ever barded a goblin.
Yes, and who appears frequently in my videos.
Yeah, he's right there. He's sitting on top of Dapper Dino.
Yep, that's why they ask, because I've been saying, oh, that's a goblin that Chesh made, and I want you to be the one who gives that story. So
his name is Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating on making him an NPC. I haven't decided. Maybe if I could find a good place for him to hang out. I haven't decided yet.
Any tavern?
No, he's special, so he's
Oh.
got to be like in the college or something like that, like in a bard college,
Bard
or
college?
something.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel like it's gonna be a situation where the party hears about this amazing bard named Murphy, and they hear about him and hear about him and hear about him, and then one day they're in a city where there's like a huge concert going on where this legendary bard Murphy is gonna be playing, and they come out and it's just a goblin banging a pot on his head.
No, I like that. Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, that's good. All right. But now that we're back, unfortunately, guys,
Ooh, perhaps
we have
perhaps
to hit
he
play.
teaches anyone. I'm sure. Is he 9 feet tall? No, he's goblin sized. He's only like 3 feet tall.
No, that's actually about the right size compared to Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus really only gets to about 2 meters tall at the very highest point on the body. So, yeah.
Did we do it? Did I do a good?
I mean, I wasn't here for most of it, but I assume you did. How could you not, right? It was you telling the story of Murphy. All right, here we go. Let's get some Kent in here.
Murphy the dropkick goblin.
That should be his signature attack. Take like 1 level
10 out
of
of
monk
10.
just so he can get the dropkick attack. So he can be the dropkick Murphy. All right, here we go.
I have to make him invent a spell that's like Big B's dropkick.
No, Murphy's dropkick. Obviously, he invented it.
Sand held at arm's length, and it was black. They said, we don't think there's any stars there. Let's focus in on that spot and see what we can find. They took pictures for 10 days straight, focusing in on that dot. After 10 days, there were more stars in that dot than they could count. These were brand new stars, never been seen before.
They were not
I
brand
really
new, they're very old stars in galaxies.
I feel
that's the
like
thing.
that Kent also doesn't really understand how exposure for astronomy works and how long it actually takes and why it takes that long. He's saying 10 days like it's a relatively long period of time, which in astronomy it really isn't. I recommend checking out Astronomy Live's channel if you'd like to know a little bit more about that, because he was recently just tracking the comet that just went by.
Drink for Godzilla. Twice. Was that you, Chesh?
I've got my drink.
No. I mean, was that you sending the Godzillas?
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't. You're right. You know, you're
Surprise! I was right. It wasn't me. Weird.
Do you know how they work?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh, okay. I wasn't, because that's the thing. I didn't know if you actually knew how they work, so you could have been mistaken. Oh! I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that was Chesh and not Check.
Yeah.
Everybody just blames me for everything.
Oh no, I blame Legs, who the chat doesn't really know, but you know him.
It was Legs.
Was it
And
really?
it was Legs again.
Ah! Is it Legs this time?
But Duke, but Legs is gonna do another one.
Alright, well there you go. It was Legs, guys. Anyway, so one of the things about this picture, though, because this is the Hubble Deep Field, right? It's a fairly famous Hubble picture. Go check out NASA. They've got a much higher resolution. Drink for Godzilla. Anyway, nothing in this picture that you're seeing right now is a star. Literally every single one of those dots is a galaxy. Kent Hovind cannot reliably distinguish between stars and galaxies. That is how monumentally inept Kent Hovind is at every aspect of science.
I mean, technically he's right. There are more stars in that image than you can count.
That's true. But in another way, there are also no stars, because no single star can be resolved.
Right, yeah.
Every star is at the sub-pixel level at this point.
Yeah.
Which actually, people being unable to recognize that maybe their image is crap quality and that details they're looking for are just smaller than a pixel is something that came up in a video I just made, but won't be out for a while. Let's just say this. If you're looking at a skeletal reconstruction of a dinosaur, and it's like 800 by 800, and you think there's a bone missing, maybe find a better resolution picture. Because maybe the bone isn't missing. You're just an idiot.
This is still just making me want to see Kent Hovind debate a flat earther. I don't care which one.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Smitty says, nope, I recognize some classic spiral stars in that image.
Have you figured out Mothra yet? I'm not sure what you mean, Brainbug. Mothra just hasn't gone off. She's around. I mean, if Chesh or Bent wanted to set off Mothra, they could.
Allegedly, I have the capability of doing such things.
I don't like to interfere.
I mean, it's alright if you're thirsty. Or you could just drink when you want, like a normal adult human being. Or goblin.
You know, yeah, you'd think. You'd think.
Oh, Godzilla. Alright, here we go.
Old Hubble Deep Field.
Oh, drink again for Mothra.
That's stuff we didn't know about.
Oh, hey, I was right. It is the deep field.
Assumption would be that it's that way all through space.
Yep. Hey, Kent Hovind got it right. That is a good assumption.
I also called it the Hubble Deep Field, which is also great.
Well, yeah.
I feel like we almost need to drink every time Kent Hovind gets something right.
That is one of the rules, Chesh. That's already one of the rules. We drink whenever Kent Hovind gets something right that he's not just reading off verbatim as a quotation. Because that is not him getting it right, it's someone else getting it right. But anytime he, on his own volition, says something that's factually accurate, we take a drink, because it happens so damn rarely. Here we go.
It should be a waterfall or a finish your drink.
Oh, well, he says it often enough that I would go through a fair few extra drinks if I did that.
Truly, the stars cannot be numbered, which is what the Bible says. They cannot be numbered. But
you just numbered them. You told us how many there were, Kent. Just a few seconds earlier in the video. You said there were 17 sextillion stars. What do you mean? I'm gonna drink again.
Oh no.
You also said they all have names that God gave them.
Well, okay, I'll ask God sometime, maybe, if he shows up on stream.
If they can't be numbered, then even God couldn't number them.
God.
But then if he did...
God, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll send you a link to befriend me on Discord, and I'll bring you in on the chat, and you can tell me the name of all 17 sextillion stars. Or sorry, I mean each 17
And that day, 17 million God accounts were created, and Dapper's Discord exploded.
Oh, no, see, because if there's 17 million, then I'll know that most of them are fake, and God couldn't have prevented it, so none of them could be God. So the only way it works, God, is if you send me one DM from one account, and you also make it obvious through whatever means, because you're omnipotent, that it's you. Then I'll bring you in, and you can name all of them, and we'll all die while waiting. Because it will take a long time for you to name 17 sextillion anything.
Not if he does it really fast.
Well, I guess. Maybe there's some repeats.
Come down there, Peter Griffin.
These 436 million stars were all just named Bob 1 through 346 million. All right, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure. All right, here we go.
I'll just smart ass.
The distance of the stars.
Hey, that's God,
how can
not
the
me.
Earth be 6,000 years old and the stars be so far away? Fair question. Stephen Hawking said,
This is a fair
stars
question.
are so far away, they appear to be just pinpoints of light. We cannot see their size or shape. How do we tell different types of stars apart? For the vast majority, there's only one thing we can see, and that is the color of their light. If you get the biggest telescope on Earth, this is not it, by the way, spotting scope, but if you get the largest telescope on Earth and look at the closest star, which is Alpha Centauri.
Oh, who wants to guess what the closest star to Earth is?
Well, it's not... It's the sun, but besides that, it's still not Alpha Centauri, it's Proxima Centauri.
Exactly. Double fail on Kent right there.
Well, okay, but like, you're not gonna stare at the sun with a telescope, so I'm gonna give him that one, like that's not what he means.
Well, you still shouldn't give it to him because it's still not Alpha Centauri.
But it's also not Alpha Centauri, it's Proxima Centauri.
Exactly. Also, they do make telescopes...
Has he never gone a hot orbital?
Well, they give away free anacondas there. Which, by the way, is an elite dangerous joke.
My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't.
Are we going to break into Baby Got Back?
Yo, dog.
Hey, good song. That's a good song. But yeah, if you ever play Elite Dangerous, which is a spaceship game, it's a lot of fun. I play it in VR. But anyway, it uses a 1-to-1 scale recreation of the Milky Way as its game world. And if you go to Alpha Centauri, there's only one station in it that you can land on, and it's called Hutton Orbital, and it actually orbits Proxima Centauri at 0.22 light years away, and your maximum velocity in the game is 2000 C. Do the math, and it means that you have about a 4-hour trip ahead of you if you just max out your speed. Yeah.
It's like an
I
hour
do
and a
enjoy
half
maxing out my speed in games.
Well,
It's
Chesh.
2001, by the way.
Oh, is it 2001? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then, Chesh,
like
maybe
it matters. No,
maybe it's
but-
time for us to go play some Elite Dangerous, and we'll do races. Race to Sagittarius A star, that's the center of the galaxy.
That'll be fun.
Have a 4-hour race.
Oh, it'll take a lot longer than 4 hours to get to Sagittarius A star. It took me, the first time I did it, I think it took about a month and a half.
It took me light years to get there. Okay.
Insert final
I did it
countdown
in a
joke.
parsec.
That's like a Kent joke where you drink because no one laughs at it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. We'll drink for that joke. Okay, here we go, more Kent.
4.5 light years away. All you're going to see is a dot. If I focus this in on the sun, it'll start to get bigger and bigger, and you can actually see flames leaping off and see the spicules in.
Flames? No, nothing is on fire on the sun. I'm gonna drink for that. The sun is not a ball of fire, Kent. It's a ball of incandescent plasma, and the things leaping off of it are called prominences or coronal mass ejections, and they're not made of fire either.
You can see color changes, and you can actually see features.
And German Furman makes a good point. 50 watching, only 28 likes. Hit that like button, guys. It really does
I
help.
know, what the heck, man?
Of the sun.
Sorry.
When you look at a star, you never get to see that. Nobody
Atheist
has
Junior
ever
drinking
seen
Red Bull.
a star
Nice.
as far as any of the features of it. You get the biggest telescope on Earth, it's going to be nothing but a dot in your scope.
Actually, I believe that's no longer true. I think we have managed to resolve the disk of a few stars, but I'm going to double check.
I think Beetlejuice, there was a pretty good image of it a year ago or so.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's iffy, and it was true when Kent Hovind said it here, so I'm just going to drink for it being accurate, because you know what? I have to be somewhat fair, right? Like, I can't say Kent Hovind should have known this thing that no one knew when he gave the speech, because this speech is at least 10 years old. So I'll drink for Kent Hovind.
Yeah,
getting
I
something
mean,
right.
you're not going to get mad at him for getting things wrong that have been updated. That's
Right,
not
yeah.
really.
That's not fair. I want to be
You
fair.
could drink if he's still saying it.
Well,
He
yeah, 'cause it's
probably
stupid.
is.
Well, probably. But yeah, at the very least, when he said it, it was true. So I'll drink for it, because you know what, Kent? You did it. Good job. I'm proud of you. All right, here we go.
All you can tell is, I said, that's a red one, that's a yellow one, that's a blue one. That's all you can see.
Oh, I'm so happy he didn't add in green or something. Like a color that doesn't actually exist in stars.
What else can you do with that information, Kent?
Oh,
Besides
That's
what
a cool
color
point.
you can do a lot of things. You can do things like determine the star's mass. You can use things like absorption or
It's what
emission
you
spectra.
mentioned earlier. Yeah, you can figure out what the chemicals are, what the elements are, and figure out a lot more about it.
And what things the light has passed through to get to you. Yeah, it turns out.
If you don't know, there's some good stuff on YouTube, for the chat or anyone who's listening. I learned that kind of stuff from PBS. It wasn't PBS Space Time. It was the astronomy, Crash Course Astronomy.
Ah,
A lot of good information.
Which is not PBS. That's done by the Vlog Brothers. They're the ones who run that.
It is a PBS.
Oh, is it? They partnered
show,
with PBS on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Crash Course Astronomy, it was a PBS thing.
Okay, cool.
There were 47 episodes, I think. It ended a while ago, but it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. Hey, if you got some spare time and you want to learn the basics of astronomy, Crash Course Astronomy is good.
Crash Course Astronomy. Pretty good.
Check out.
Maybe I'll tell Astronomy Live to do a little bit of talking
Yes.
about stars and explaining them, because he would be good for that.
It would be really good to get some stuff like explanations of like stellar spectra and what you can tell from the spectrum of a star, like absorption lines, emission lines, stuff like that. because that's a big part of astronomy, is just getting the spectrum of a star in a graph and looking at where the dips and the peaks are that don't match up with the black body radiation curve.
I got some connections. I'll see what I can set up.
Of course, you're like the queen of the connections, the goblin queen of the connections.
We have to do based on
I do believe I
assumptions
am
just
the
from-
secretary doing secretary things.
I mean, sure. If you want to
Goblin
identify,
secretary.
if you want to, well, in government, secretaries are usually pretty high up there.
Oh, Dr. Becky is awesome, says Don Giovanni. I watch her too. She's pretty good.
Nice.
Very good, actually.
Here we go.
color. But how do you tell the distance to the star? Well, I taught high school trig for years, and if you guys had trig, you know how it works.
The
I'm
fact
just
that
going to
he
start
says-
drinking now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anytime Kent Hovind says I taught, and then he talks about the thing he allegedly taught, it's like, ooh, either you didn't teach or you created the dumbest students in the history of the United States. I'm not going to say the world, because I don't know about, like, Djibouti or something, but...
Is he the one
Yeah,
dragging
I
down
will say- I'll say the world.
America's statistical average?
He is, yeah.
I will say the world.
If you take out Kent Hovind, the average IQ of the United States jumps up by 20 points.
Big oof.
Yeah.
You need to rename this stream Big Kent. Big oof.
Maybe that can be the name of the next episode. Big
Big
Kent.
oof edition.
Yes. Although this one is called The One That Almost Didn't Happen. Ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
If you have two
Everyone knows
observation
why.
points, you can
Elliott
calculate the
knows
third
why.
distance.
Oh, hey, he got that right. That is how you can do that with trigonometry. Okay, I'll drink for that.
You have to know it's solving a triangle. Trigonometry deals with triangles.
That's
So
the
you
same
sine,
one.
cosine, tangent. If you know one distance and two angles, or two distances and one angle, you can calculate the rest of the triangle using sine, cosine, tangent. Here's the problem. Earth is only 8,000 miles in diameter, which compared to star distance is zero. It's nothing. So if I'm looking at a star and somebody over in China is looking at a star, we are 8,000 miles away from each other, straight line through the Earth. That would be nothing. What they've done to enlarge the distance to look at a star, instead of just being opposite sides of the Earth is also going around the sun in this great big huge circle. We're going 66,000 miles.
Yeah, that's true. A way to not be a flirt or a geocentrist, Kent. Hey, you got that up on Neffy. Neffy, who is totally a geocentrist. In fact, actually, I believe I put a clip of him in one of my upcoming videos saying that he's a geocentrist. So watch out for that one, Nephilim free. What's that?
He denied that he said it?
Yeah, he denies that he said he was ever a geocentrist. But no, Neffy, you said it on camera. And I know you've taken the video down, but that's not how the internet works.
That is 100% not how the internet works.
So, good job, Neffy. Thank you for saying it so publicly and putting it on YouTube. Because once it goes on YouTube, it's not coming off. I promise. You can delete it all you want. Not going away. Here we go.
And it takes us
Dapper's
a
on
year
a
to go around.
spree. He must be in a
Big
mood.
racetrack.
I am. You know
Well, the
why,
distance
Josh.
from the Earth to the Sun is about 93 million miles, average. And that's a lot. But
you got the
at the speed of light,
distance
it's
about
not
right.
much. At the speed of light, it's 8 minutes away.
Yeah, okay.
It takes the
I'll
sunlight
drink for
8
that again.
minutes to get to the Earth. So if we're 8 light minutes from the Sun, the diameter of our orbit going around is 16 light minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a star in January, and then we're going to look at the star in June, and we have now gone halfway around this monster circle. And we're going to...
I'm going to drink again. Kent is actually getting stellar parallax measurements right. And I don't know what that means for, like, my entire world.
Yeah, who knows what's happening in
It's
the
just-
universe
It
right
means
now.
he knows what a triangle is.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that's surprising.
exactly. Like, I honestly think that if you gave Kent the Flurf litmus test from, like, FTFE, you know, like, what are the internal angles of a equilateral triangle? Like, what are they?
Oh, he would pass. That's the thing.
You
This is
think
why I
so?
want to see him debate a flat earther.
Okay.
I want to see it. I legit want to see that because he's not a flat earther and he seems to have like a basic understanding of like general maths.
I still think he'd fail, though.
Kent Hovind versus Nathan Thompson.
I would like to see that, especially
I
since
don't know
Nathan
if I would
Thompson's
pick
been ripping
Nathan
him off.
Thompson. I don't know if I would pick Nathan Thompson. Maybe.
Both pursue the SpongeBob imagination.
That's why I want Nathan
Oh, that's
Thompson,
fair.
because
Yeah.
Nathan will bring out SpongeBob and his little hammer, and he'll pound the head of SpongeBob, and he'll just throw Kent's own shtick back at him, and that would be hilarious.
That would be pretty good, yeah. Fair enough.
I still can't believe that G-Man let Nathan Thompson be on his side for a debate.
That's not what I wanted him to do when I told him to debate Nathan Thompson.
You told him explicitly, I want you to debate against Nathan Thompson, because I want to root for you in a debate, G-Man. And instead, what does he do? He does the exact opposite. He debates alongside G-Man alongside Nathan Thompson as his partner. Like, G-Man, you're going backwards, dude. Don't back up. Change course. Oh, poor G-Man. All right.
It's just like the Koopa that shows up on Mario when you're going the wrong direction and just floats around and waves it in your flag in your face.
Kart.
You're going the wrong way. Yeah.
Oh, good old Mario Kart. Actually, I played Mario Kart with my great uncle once. Dude was like 80, had no legs, and he just moved from Louisiana, never touched a game controller in his life. That dude had so much fun.
You?
No, I mean, he didn't win, but my goodness, I think that was like the most fun he'd had in the past like 40 years. He loved that thing. So, good job.
That's cute.
Great uncle who mysteriously lost his legs due to diabetes he didn't have.
You get 2 observation points to try to enlarge the.
When we found him and he didn't have, so he disappeared, right?
Oh, don't actually tell the story.
No, he disappeared.
This is a story. This is a story for another day.
I'm just gonna say
you are never gonna get through this video.
He didn't have legs when he was rediscovered by my family. We asked why. He said diabetes, but he showed no signs or symptoms of diabetes.
Base of our triangle. And it sounds huge. Man, that's 186 million miles. Well, it's still not much. A year has 525,000 minutes in a year.
Quick, check the math.
I don't care.
This
is like saying you can divide the number of stars by the number of people and get 11 trillion stars per person. Like, who cares?
All right, I'm
We
dividing.
get it. I don't think it's not big enough.
Times. I'm multiplying 365.25 by 60 squared. And if this comes out right... Nope. Oh, wait, he said minutes? Yeah, that's still minutes. And what did he say? Oh, I'm trying to click on the back button on Discord. That's not how it works.
If this million mile, well, it's still not much. A year has 525,000 minutes.
All right, so hold on a second. So it's got 21,915 hours, which if I multiply by 60 again to get minutes, I come out with, 1,314,900. So are you sure that Kent actually has a basic understanding of math, Chesh?
525,960.
Wait, you get that again? Why am I getting it wrong then?
I don't know. 60 minutes times 24
I'm
hours times
not
365.
multiplied by 24, that's why. Never mind, I'm the one who doesn't have math.
Are you sure you have a basic understanding of the maths?
No, I'm not. I have a basic understanding of this rum, though.
He's off by 960, guys. Don't forget leap year. 365.25.
Yeah, I put the 0.25.
Oh,
I just didn't put the 24 in because I'm the idiot this time. You know what? I'm going to drink because Kent got it right.
This
and
has
I got it
gotten
wrong.
too much math. I gotta go finish doing art. This is supposed to be my day off.
Doesn't matter.
You're not
We're
the one
supposed to
doing
be
the art
streaming
or
today.
math.
This
You're
part
not.
doesn't
I am.
matter for Kent's point. That's why I say don't do the math, but anyway.
All right, fine. Well, I'm going to hit play. Chesh, if you need to go, that's awesome, and I'll talk to you later. I mean,
Bye,
obviously.
Chesh. Dapper just said it's awesome
Bye.
if you leave. So,
Oh, it feels bad, man. I'm getting kicked off. Now Dapper hates me. Watch the trolls go crazy.
Yep, there you go.
Dapper betrays Chesh and kicks her off the flat earth. No. Okay, bye, guys.
She fell off the edge, just like Flat Feet Pete.
In a year.
I mean, Kent's rounding, it's fine.
If this picture here showing the little yellow dot was the scale, if that yellow dot represented Earth's orbit, not the Earth's diameter, the orbit of the Earth. It's way too big for the picture. What we're going to do is try to show you the math involved here. If I had two surveyors setting up with their transits or telescopes, and they are 16 inches away from each other, and they're both looking at a dot 525,000 inches away, which is 8 1/3 miles. Would you agree that would make a rather skinny triangle?
Yes.
Let's go out in the parking lot and draw a triangle with point A and point B 16 inches apart, and point C 8 1/3 miles away. It's going to make a real skinny triangle. That is exactly the triangle you get when two people on opposite sides of Earth's orbit try to measure 1 light year. 1. Now, and I'm not sure you can tell exactly where you were 6 months ago. I think that would be a little stretch of the imagination to say, oh yeah, 6 months ago in January we were...
You calculated the diameter, Kent.
Yeah, so basically Kent is like, it would be hard for me to do with surveying equipment. Therefore, no one can do it. That's not how it works, Kent. Not even a little bit.
I'll give him that. I won't even argue that. I just would bring that up, for appeal, Your Honor, in case we need to. You can't know exactly where you were 6 months ago. But the angle you get with that is 0.017 degrees. Now let's imagine this. I want you to get two guys to set up their surveying transits. They're 16 inches apart, and I'm going to go put a dot 8 1/3 miles.
I'm just going to start drinking. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, or in a second. All right. Oh, and I want to make a quick shout out to Just a Walking Fish, who, by the way, has a video, his first video up on his channel. Go check it out. It's really good. Do that. Also, he is my newest patron, so I'm gonna drink. What? Cheers, Just a Walking Fish, who plays on Patreon. Your name will start appearing in the credit scenes for videos that I make next month. Unless your payments don't go through.
Oh, snap.
I mean, that is actually true, but it's not usually a problem. Anyway, so surveying equipment is not designed to measure thousandths of a degree. But high magnification telescopes are, because that's literally the entire point of a high magnification telescope, is to resolve things that are fractions of a thousandth of a degree in diameter. Mm-hmm. That is the point of the technology. When you look at a picture, like when you look at that Hubble Deep Scope picture, and he said, oh, it was the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length, that's much, much, much less than 1/100th of a degree, Kent. Which is the kind of resolution that you're saying is just impossible to measure. But you saw the picture. In fact, I'm going to get a good version of it up and show you what this fraction of 1/100th of a degree looks like when you look at it through Hubble telescope. Hubble Deep Field is the first autocomplete option when I type in Hubble on Google. That's awesome. All right, so here is... Ooh, that's a pretty big version of it. I'm gonna open this in a tab, and sorry guys, you aren't going to be able to see it up on the Discord because I'm sharing a window. This is the Hubble Deep Field here. This is the thing he's talking about, and this is zoomed. This is full resolution here that I just clicked on. This is from NASA. The entire field of this thing right here is less than 1/100th of a degree. Now, a 0.17 degree change, like Kent had said, would be so great that it could take something from anywhere on this screen to completely off of it. And he's going to sit there and tell me that, oh no, we can't measure that. Nope, no way. Even though every single object in this image is far smaller than that. Yeah, the entire point of telescopes is to resolve things with absurdly small angular diameters. So, yeah. Also, Smitty, it's true. Decimeters exist, but no one ever uses them. It kind of bugs me too.
I don't know why.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, and while there wasn't a star in Kent's picture that he used, this right here, this little thing with the little cross shape and the red X through it, that is a star.
There are a few stars in it.
Yeah, the actual full image does have a couple stars in it. I think there's one. I think there's two. If I remember correctly, the Hubble Deep Field has like 4 or 5 stars total in it. So there's a few, but Kent Hovind's picture, I believe, centered somewhere around like what I'm showing as the center of the screen. And there weren't any stars in that actual segment of the deep field. But here we go. More awfulness from Kent Hovind.
Miles away, but they don't know how far away it is. They're both focusing in on the dot, and they see this dot out there. Here's the only information they have. The measurement between themselves, 16 inches, and the angle out of parallel.
Mm-hmm.
I say, guys, I want you to calculate how far away that dot is based on that little angle change you get. I think that would be difficult to measure.
Yeah, with surveying equipment. But not if you had precision computer control laser guided telescopes. But that's not what you survey with. Right, but that's not what you survey with, because that would be an absurd waste of time and resources to make that as your surveying equipment. Because people generally don't need that kind of precision for surveying. Because you're now at like the sub-millimeter level on surveying. No one needs that. No one's going to sue someone else because their fence went a millimeter over the property line. Because the property line isn't that well defined anyway.
1 light year. There'd be some guesswork involved, okay? Now, if you want to measure 100 light years, you got a much worse problem. Now you got to move your dot 830 miles away. If we had 2 guys on the roof of this building here in Pensacola, Florida, 16 inches apart, and they're both focusing on a dot in Chicago, which is 830 miles away.
Wait, that's impossible if the Earth isn't flat. Maybe Kent Hovind is a flat earther.
Oh, snap.
Oh, drink for Kent going full flurf.
Oh, Kent.
All right,
What are you doing, Kent?
Full flurf mode on that one. Awesome. Thank you, Kent Hovind, for going full flurf here on Kent with Bent 26. That was amazing.
Happened.
Yeah. Yep, and it's the one where he went full flurf. Oh, awesome.
Wait. But they don't know how far away it is. They're going to tell me how far away it is, based only on their angle of their telescope out of parallel. I would say that's impossible. Impossible. To measure 15 billion, no question that's impossible. I don't think you can measure 100 light years. Not with real numbers, not with real measurements, but this textbook says,
I don't think scientists do the things they do. Okay, Kent, sure. You have fun with that.
They can measure, parallax trigonometry can measure up to 100 light years. Okay, I doubt it, but I'll give them 100. I'll give them 1,000 if they quit crying, okay? The fact is you can't measure 1 billion.
You're right. You can't measure 1 billion light years with parallax. I'll take a drink. It's true. Good job. I'm proud of you. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, I just heard Kent go full flat earther. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Just a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had to come back and freak out for a second. I heard that and I literally just dropped everything I was doing just to be like, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Today is the day that Kent went full flurf on my channel, and it's amazing.
Can everybody please go on to Twitter and just get that clip, like just this like 40 seconds or whatever that was, 5 seconds clip of that, and all of us freaking out about it, please, and clip that and start spreading that across
Absolutely.
the Ethernet of the internet until it gets to Kent Hovind. That'd be fantastic. Cool,
Kent
thanks.
Hovind
All right,
goes
I'm leaving
full
again.
flurf. Bye, Josh.
Bye. God damn it, Kent.
You were here, folks. You saw him go.
This might, David, you picked a choice episode to appear on. I gotta say, it's not usually quite this amazing. So congratulations, man. You picked him, man. And to think this episode almost didn't ever happen.
It almost never happened at all, ever.
Well, I'm glad it did, Bent.
Oh, me too. Believe me, me too.
All right.
Simple fact. So here's some things to consider about Starlight. It said in 2004 that the new SIM technology, Space Interferometry Mission, they hope
Interferometry? There's an R. But whatever, it's minor.
to get where they can improve the distance of measuring to stars. And they say this accuracy will enable SIM to determine stellar distances to 10% accuracy out to a distance of 482,000 million miles. That's 82,000 light years. Then it says, this is an improvement of several hundred times over what is possible today. Well, now wait a minute. If they're going to improve it several hundred times, and it ends up being 82,000, what's 82,000 divided by several hundred comes out to be several hundred. Apparently they're admitting...
No, it comes out to be a couple thousand, Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're off by an order of magnitude. But then again, he's off by like 8 orders of magnitude as to how old the Earth is. So, you know what? Good job, Kent. You almost got there. You're off by an order of magnitude, but... Oh, and we got a super chat for $2.99 reduce from possibly the most generous man in the whole YouTube, Ian Chen.
For sure the most generous man in the whole world.
Basically, Ian Chen is an amazing supporter of the channel. He is he's almost single-handedly funding the Dapper Dino and sort of community Warhammer army that's in the works. Yeah. So Ian Chen is someone. You know what? I'm gonna drink for an Ian Chen super chat because Ian Chen is quite frankly amazing.
I just finished my drink for an Ian Chen super chat.
What? Do we need a second intermission already?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, actually, I might at some point. I'll try to hold off. I'll try to hold off because we're closing in on the end here, guys. We only got about 20 minutes or so before we really do wrap up stuff.
They can only measure several hundred light years, which I would agree. I mean, I would say that's even a stretch, but I'll give them several hundred.
Sure.
They can't measure
But let's say it's several thousand because that's the actual math.
billions, is the point. So when your students in school get taught, oh, that star is 14.629 billion light years away, I don't believe you.
No one says that, Kent. No one says that star there is 14 billion light years away.
That's
At
true.
that distance, they say that galaxy, unless it's one of those gamma ray burst.
But
Is that what you can see across the whole universe?
You can see that across the universe, but that
would be a star. But
well, it's an event. It's actually not even clear that they're made from stars. They might be made from black holes doing things. So
well, but a black hole came from a star.
But it isn't one anymore.
It's not the whole galaxy.
Okay, yeah.
But for the most part, no. When you're talking about 14 billion light years away, Kent, you're talking about galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the same thing as stars. I know it's hard to understand for no reason, but just trust me, Kent.
Do you think that he knows what standard candles are?
I would bet a lot of money that it's been explained to him, and he still doesn't know, and he never understood.
Well, you would win because King Crocodile has explained it to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Might be.
I do.
You can't prove that. They're making up a story. With SIM technology, they hope to finally be able to get out to where they can measure most of the way across our galaxy, and we're in it.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even measure across our own galaxy,
With
let alone
parallax.
these distances to other galaxies.
With parallax.
So I think we should look at the stars and say, wow, what a mighty God.
Oh, yeah. Just look at them and say, wow.
Yeah.
That's way better than measuring.
It's like, this is exactly the same argument as saying, you know what? I can't measure the distance between my house and London with a 1-foot ruler. No, you can't. But that doesn't mean there's no way to tell the different distance between my house and London. Because there are other
look at your house and say, wow. And look at the ruler and say, wow. And look at a picture of a house in England and say, wow.
Exactly. That is the exact argument that Kent Hovind is saying here. Is because I
Hey,
can't
Eric.
do it. Oh, hey, Eric Gerthaller's here. Speak of the devil. We mentioned you earlier, man, and your attempts to get Kent Hovind to appear on a debate with you, which, and oh yeah, Smitty says, a wizard did it. Yeah, basically.
Look at the trees. All right.
Here we go.
Instead of going out there and say, well, we know how far that way it is, we know it evolved. I mean, it's just that egotistical attitude some of these atheists get, makes you want to slap them in the face. Like, just serve God. Look what he made, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing to consider concerning.
And here's the other thing. You don't have to not serve God. Like, you don't have to not be a Christian or any other kind of theist to accept the actual reality of the world as real. I'm not here to go into the whole thing, but no, distant starlight does not disprove Christianity or any other religion unless that religion is so specific that it says that starlight can't be from great distances, which Kent's version of Christianity does, but that's not all of the possible interpretations of Christianity. It's just one of the really, really dumb ones.
What?
Yeah. Turns out you can be a Christian and accept the full age of the universe.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the 11th commandment, though?
To accept whatever Kent Hovind says?
Whatever Kent Hovind says about the age of the universe?
That might be the 11th commandment. I haven't checked up on the...
Is that in the King James Version? That's why he likes that version so much?
Probably. Oh, actually, sometime I might want to get into why Kent Hovind likes the King James Version so much, because just like everything else about Kent Hovind, it's really dumb. I'll just say this. If you know who Gail Ripplinger is, then you know exactly why Kent Hovind is KJV only. And if you know who Gail Ripplinger is, then you're either a KJV only person or you realize how stupid that is. Because Gail Ripplinger is really dumb. We're gonna keep going.
Starlight. Then we'll take a break. Number one, we cannot measure these great distances. It just cannot be done.
Yeah, so no, he's just going to skip right over standard candles. So in case anyone doesn't know, because, you know, astronomy stuff is not everyone's thing, a standard candle is an object with a known brightness. A known absolute brightness. So we know how bright it looks from any given distance, because light falls off based on the inverse cube law. The inverse square law. Gotta remember my things here. So if a light is 4 times as far away, it's going to be 4 times... If it's 4 times as far away as another light of the same absolute brightness, the one 4 times farther away will be 16 times dimmer, because that is the square of 8. Okay, so it's a simple formula. You plug it in with a known brightness, and there you go. And so there are a number of things in the universe that have known brightnesses. Right now, the most popular one to use in astronomy is type 1a supernovae. Other options, though, like another famous one is Cepheid variable stars, which are known to have a particular brightness, and they vary between different brightness states at somewhat regular intervals, and we know what brightness they always are, because only certain stars can be Cepheid variables. So if you look at a type 1 supernova, and it's, you know, twice as dim as you expect for whatever distance you think it is, well, then you know that it's actually like 1.5 times the difference, or whatever square root 2 is. It's a stupid irrational number, which is why I should have picked 4 instead of 2, but whatever. Yeah, I know, I had to go with square root 2 because I'm an idiot. God. Anyway, there's just more evidence that apparently I can't math and drink at the same time.
No, you can't.
No. But hey, at least I knew square root 2 is irrational. In fact, it's so irrational that, according to legend, Pythagoras, after whom the Pythagorean theorem is named, murdered a man for proving that square root 2 was irrational because he didn't believe in irrational numbers. Yeah, so square root 2 has possibly gotten someone killed before.
Whoops.
Yeah, Pythagoras took math seriously.
Number two, nobody knows what light is. They call it a
Oh my
wave
God.
or a photon or a particle. You know,
I'm just gonna chug it.
we use it all the time. But actually, give me a jar of it, paint it red. Nobody knows the substance of it. What is light? And we sure don't know that it always travels the same speed all through time or space.
Oh my gosh, Ken!
All right, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to finish this turn because, 1, there's not that much left, and 2, that's something we have to get into a lot. We really need to get into that one because that is... Yeah, you're going to... If you don't already know how dumb it is, you're going to find out really shortly. But right now, I'm going to mute the desktop and the computer audio, or my microphone audio, and we're going to go to a quick intermission. I'm going to come back with some fresh alcohol because... Yeah. I want to take a moment to talk about something serious. There is a problem facing late surviving non-avian dinosaurs in modern America. Hunting is very strictly regulated, and only allowed at certain times of the year. This means that for much of the year we have to rely on farm-raised food, which means money. If you want to help a starving dinosaur, please consider donating on Patreon, or buying from my merch store. Links are in the description. Please help. Dinosaurs all over YouTube are depending on you to help them through the hunting off-season.
Oh, Nani? Dare? Oh, ゴジラですか? Hi, Gojira-san. Hi.
Alright, sorry about the audio. Oh, hey, drinking for Mothra. A second time, my goodness. Oh goodness, I didn't stir that sufficiently. That was just straight rum. Ah!
That's the way to do it.
Okay, whoa. There we go. Oh, that was a bit shocking. Oh man, alright, so we got a $2 super chat from Ben Hovind, who's on the panel, and says, all I can say is, wow.
And the reason why is because what Ken said was so bad, and the chat wants to see it again, by the way, if you go back 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll go back 30 seconds.
Yeah, and Eric also wants me to bring up his idea of having an Eric with Erica with Eric sometime, which I think would be a really good idea.
I like that idea, yeah, although it would be a lot of Erics. Okay, we're gonna drink like 3 more
fine.
times for Mothra. Another time. No, that was the same one as the last one. Mothra does her little cry a few times. Alright, we'll back up 30 seconds. Actually, we'll back up 40, just because the thing is a little bit weird that way. I'm drinking again for Mothra, my goodness. Has someone figured out how to trigger Mothra and that's what's going on?
It wasn't me. I can't even hear Mothra, actually.
Really? Can everyone else hear Mothra?
Well, the chat can, I think, but I
Okay.
can't.
Well, as long as they can. All right.
I don't know for sure. I think they can, though.
Here we go. We're going to back up 40 seconds.
Person say, wow, what a mighty God we serve.
Drink for Mothra.
Instead of going out there and say, well, we know how far that way it is, we know it evolved. I mean, it's just that egotistical attitude some of these atheists get, makes you want to slap them in the face. Like,
that's the same
why don't you serve God? Look what he made, you know? Here's the things to consider concerning Starlight. Then we'll take a break.
Is this the dumb bit? They wanted to see the bit about Chicago, though, right?
Just keep playing.
All
It's
right.
this part.
Number one, we cannot measure these great distances. They just cannot be done. Number two, nobody knows what light is.
Pulse.
Is it, we call it a wave or a photon or a particle? You know, we know what it
Thanks,
does. We use
Chesh.
it all the time. But actually, give me a jar of it and paint it red. Nobody knows the substance of it. What is light? And we sure know that it always travels the same speed all through time or space.
It's just as dumb
The
as the
entire theory
first time you
behind
said it.
All right. Oh, we have to drink again for Mothra. My goodness. You guys are killing me, and I know exactly what's going on. You guys are can't say it because then they'll know. Yeah, okay. TD Lane and Colton, Corporal Anon. Yeah, you guys figured it out. Good job. Yeah. No, I realize it. I get it. I'm gonna send it to them.
Did you finish your drink yet?
No.
Why don't you paint light red? It's particle, it's a wave, it's a
Two
photon.
more drinks.
It's an energy packet. It has no rest mass. It moves at the speed of light or the speed of causality.
Oh my goodness. This is just gonna end up just being me drinking from Mothra the entire rest of the stream. That's just what's gonna happen.
It's gonna end the way that Monty Python movie ended, where there's just...
Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna keep track on my hand while I explain why this is super dumb. Okay, so that's one. Maxwell's equations. Maxwell's equations determine the strength and behavior of the electromagnetic force, which is something that we can tell how it's working in terms of, you know, like looking at distant galaxies. Because if the electromagnetic force were different, then those, you know, emission spectra that we talked about, they would also be different. We would see discrepancies. So if the speed of light had varied throughout time or space, we could tell by looking at distant stars that that had happened. There's the second one. So when we actually look at stars, their stellar spectra are exactly what we would expect to see if the speed of light were temporally and location invariant. Because that, there's another one, there's three. Because that happens, we know the speed of light has been constant to a very high degree of certainty or specificity, right? Like, if it has varied, it's only been by very, very small amounts. And there's four. That is why this is amazingly dumb, right? Like, starting out in abstract, yes, the speed of light could have changed at some point. How would you know? Now we're on 5.
Right.
And this is how we know, because the universe acts as if the speed of light hasn't changed, and we could tell because of the changes to the outcome of Maxwell's laws. So here we go. I'm going to drink 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Next week is going to be the one that almost didn't happen ever again.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, here we go. Let's get in a little bit more Kent, and then I think the next time we stop, we're going to start wrapping up. But here's Mothra again.
Black hole is that light can be attracted by gravity. Well, if light can be attracted by gravity, then you cannot say the speed of light is a constant. Okay? At Harvard University back in '99, they slowed light down to 38 miles an hour. The next year, they slowed it down to 1 mile an hour, and the next year brought it to a dead stop. Light goes, you know, pretty quick, 186,000.
Okay, yeah, you brought it to a dead stop in a particular medium, Kent, not in space.
Not
Yeah.
in a vacuum.
The wavefront velocity of light can change based on its medium. But the actual travel time from point A to point B of any photon, that isn't going to scatter off of something is essentially always going to be... It's not essentially, it's just always going to be C. Yeah, seriously, F's in the chat for my brain. Couple more Mothras.
Well, your liver, but your brain too, sure.
And in the thread where I mentioned, oh yeah, hey, you guys know how to do Mothra, TD Lane is all, oh, it's us? Yeah, TD Lane, it is you. And also Erica. Oh my god. And, well, it hasn't been RJ yet, but RJ's in there. Okay. So we're gonna do some wrap-up stuff real quick. Maybe. Okay, so we're just gonna keep track at this point while I do wrap-up stuff. All right, Bent, shill whatever you need to shill.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, there you go. Go see Copper Magma, coppermagma.com, because Bent is too shy to shill it or something. I don't know.
Well, it's a thing still, but nothing is new with coppermagma.com. So if you want the same free music, it's still there. And if you don't want it, it's still there anyway.
There are new people in chat.
Okay, yeah. Go to Copper Magma and get free Copper Magma music. Download it. Buy merch if you want to. But just, it's expensive, so it's good quality stuff though. Don't buy the cell phone case. It sucks.
Fair enough. All right.
Cheap, flimsy plastic.
All right.
But it looks cool. It does look cool. The logos look cool. And get the music, download it for free, burn it on your compact discs, your cassette tapes and all that. And
can I use it on my phone? Can I like copy it to a phonograph cylinder?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Put it on your 8-track, record players. Get it in vinyl, even though it's not for sale in vinyl.
All right. Let's see. Oh, by the way, and Chesha's going to swing by to our private Discord later, Bent. So I guess we're going to head over to our private Discord after. Anyway, which is not the fan Discord, which you should also join.
Not the fan Discord, which you should also.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, David, shill whatever you got to shill. I'm going to click on you.
Oh, show whatever I'm going to show?
Yeah. What do you have
to show?
All right,
cool. I'm sorry?
I'm asking what do you have to shill for us?
Oh, yeah. Do y'all want to see my video that I uploaded, or?
Well, we can't watch it right now on this, but I mean, I will definitely link to it. Is there anything else that you want to let people know about? Like, is there anything upcoming or anything they should be looking out for?
Yeah, I'm actually looking to, I've actually talked to, the guy that, R and Rod debated, what's his name? Dr. McLeroy. Yeah, I'm looking to debate him on Steve McRae's channel, so.
That guy,
yeah,
all
that
right.
should be interesting.
All right. Yeah, no, that should be interesting. That guy was dense.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
He's not deliberately dishonest like Hovind, though.
Yeah, he seemed more honest, but yeah, he was still pretty. Ugh. All right, yeah, that'll be awesome. I mean, let me know once the link is out for that, and I'll put it. I'll at least link it in like the community page, and if I do any videos or live streams before it happens, after I get the link, I'll shout it out. Shout it out. There you go. All right. So, channel news. Oh, first of all, we're going to get through the 3 Mothras that we need to get through. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. My God. Oh. Anyway. Channel news. Tuesday. There's going to be another episode, or the final episode. Finally, we're going to get the final episode of Noah's Zookeeper. It's been a long time coming, but the final episode of Noah's Zookeeper is coming on Tuesday. Saturday, I have no idea what's happening. However, if I don't get a stream set up, which I'm thinking about getting like a sort of leaving young Earth creationism, except it's sort of going into old Earth creationism conversation with someone I've already talked to on Eric Vierthaler's channel. So that might happen, but it's up in the air. If that doesn't happen, it will probably be about my new friend from the comments, Katie, who's a Hovind supporter, mostly. He has a few disagreements with Hovind, but broadly a Hovind supporter. And I pulled a few of his videos off of his YouTube channel, mostly because he said that he would debate me in the comments, but not on air, because he didn't want me to make money off of my views because of him. Well, guess what, Katie? It's gonna happen anyway, because you can't stop it, because that's not how YouTube works. That's not how any of this works. So I'm gonna make money off of you, whether you like it or not, because you published videos, and that means I can get them, and I can post commentary to them, and people will watch it. Because unlike Katie, I have an audience.
Nice. And a good one too.
Burn, right? This is the stream of burns. So many burns. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. There's no title for Kent with Bent. I know usually some of you like to go watch me on Top Hats Off after these, where I stream some games. But kind of angry at Steam right now for reasons I don't really want to super get into. But yeah, I'm not super happy with Steam, so I'm just not in the mood to play a video game right now, basically. So unfortunately, I know some of you like to stick around for that and go head over to my other channel. Sorry, just not happening today. I'll probably be over it by next week, but I'm just not up for it right now. Let's see. The Tuesday following that will be kept. Oh, take a drink. So unless we do an Eric with Erica, in case like if Ben wants a break or anything, or I get enough requests or something for an episode of Eric with Erica, then yeah, it'll just be the next Kent with Bent. I don't know what it's called yet. If you have suggestions, let me know. Then the Tuesday after that will almost certainly be about Katie from the comments. I don't know if it'll be the first or the second episode. It'll depend on what happens Saturday. Then I have no idea what's happening that's the next Saturday, but I'm hoping that pretty soon I'll have the next batch of creatures for the Speculative Evolution project, which will still be Phase 2 creatures. I still have a lot to go through on that. I don't even think we're halfway done with Phase 2, and I've already stopped accepting new submissions for Phase 2. So yeah, and I actually believe the next creature I make is actually going to be a Bowbird descendant there, Bent. Yeah, because Bent is the creator of the original Bowbird.
I'm the creator of Bossio and Bowbird.
Yep.
And
so
nothing else.
No, TD Lane. It's not EA this time. It's Bethesda.
I know, right?
Bethesda is currently holding either my game or my money hostage, and Steam is letting them. And I want one of those things back. Yeah. So, oh, and hey, Mr. Serious is gaming right now. That's awesome. Go check out Mr. Serious. Yes, absolutely link Mr. Serious. Yes, I 100% support you linking Mr. Serious right now.
Linked.
Please do that. So, yeah. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone who came, especially my super chatters, Ian Chen and Bent Hovind, no relation.
That's me!
Thanks for hanging out there, David, and like I said, email me or message me or something, the link. For the rest of you, I will see you on Thursday. Ooh, Mario Maker, I like that game. All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.